The tarot has the major arcana and the minor arcana to kind of help you create a conversation, really, I think, with like your guides and with spirit. And um so there is a lot of interpretation and just kind of playing with it. And I'm a little nervous.
I'm excited.
I know. I'm nervous. Human design reveals who you are energetically and who you came here to be. I'm Dana, human design specialist.
And I'm Haley, the human design newbie. Listen in as we explore how leaning into your authentic self is your ultimate path to success. Welcome to the Human Design High podcast. Let's get into it.
Well, hello there, Haley. How are you?
Hello.
Check our
I know.
emails.
I know.
Hello. Good to see you. I'm glad you could make it to the show today. I woke up a little bit late. It's a Sunday morning, so that's excusable for sure.
Yes.
I guess you needed some sleep, which may have stemmed from you said you guys were out running this weekend again, huh?
Yes, we went running yesterday. It was not my best run. I was just not feeling it.
Are you just running for fun or are you training for anything?
Right now, just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Presley? He's
not
training.
Words I thought I would say. I'm just running for fun.
I don't think I'll ever say that.
No. Yeah,
Is Presley training?
Yeah, he's training. He has a 50K in September.
Good God. Where's that again? It's up there north of you somewhere, right?
No, it's in Arizona. It's I think Scottsdale area.
Yeah. Good Lord. Does he know it could still be like 100 degrees?
It's a night race.
That's why. Because it's going to be freaking hot.
I know.
The roads melt. Their shoes don't melt to the... No, wait. So it's a trail race?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's called the Javelina Hangover. It's like, so the Javelina, they have a couple different races that they have. This one is supposed to be like real fun kind of party race, basically.
Well, they get a glow stick while he
might
tries not to die. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. Gotta have... I mean, it really is best case scenario for him to be a runner because, I bet he has a lot of energy to expend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Keep him kind of like grounded and not wandering off in too many. I mean, he's not that he wanders off, but gets bored a little bit, I think.
Yes, gets antsy kind of.
Yeah. So you said you had something you were going to tell me about the trail.
So we went to Rampart Reservoir, which is just like an hour west of us, and it's a big old lake. And so I ran with Bailey, and then afterwards we went. They have like a couple little like all around the reservoir. There's like kind of sandy beaches that you can go to, and there's one right by the boat ramp. And so I took Bailey, and we were waiting for Presley to finish. And so once he finished, we all were in the water. I had on like sandals, like out in the water, and Bailey doesn't know how to swim. She doesn't know how to swim. No. We like tried to coax her in. She wouldn't go past
as much as she loves the water, she can't swim.
She's never been swimming.
She's a Labrador.
I know. And I was trying to like coax her in. She would come to me, and then she'd get to the edge of where she could touch, and she's like big old paws in the water, splashing, trying to eat the splashes. And then I tried.
She's always been too distracted by the joy of water to actually learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Because we never we always had them in like a little, when they were younger, when you lived here, kiddie pool.
We had the kiddie pool.
She loved it. And my dog, when we laugh, she's the lifeguard. Roxy. Oh my God. I remember they were puppies and so we did buy that kiddie pool first summer. So they would have been like not quite a year old, I guess, maybe 8 or 9 months old. And we're like, oh my God, they're gonna love this. They're Labradors. We'll set the kiddie pool up in the backyard. And Bailey did that thing like you see most of the dogs are like so excited, jump in, jump out, jump in. And my dog just tried to attack her to keep her out of the pool.
Yes.
And when she was in the pool, she would just bark at her.
Yeah. And then when Bailey would jump out, Roxy would literally run interference and run between Bailey and the pool trying to keep her out.
We're like, what is wrong with this dog? She's broken. She's supposed to love, they're supposed to love the water. And instead, she just tends to get ear infections. And she does love the water, though, now. She does love the water. She just doesn't want anybody else to get it. And apparently, there was a good reason. Your dog can't swim.
Yeah.
So maybe Roxy was a great lifeguard. She's like, sis, you can't swim.
You can't swim.
You're going to die. And we used to laugh about it, that she's a lifeguard and she's trying to save Bailey. And now you're telling us almost 7 years later she was right.
Yes. She doesn't know how to swim.
So do you really, like, she really just couldn't? Like, she wouldn't go in the water?
Well, she would get in the water. She liked being in the water, and I had a little ball for her, and she lost it several times because it would float, and she's looking for it on the ground of the ground of the lake. But I tried
love her so much, but she is not the.
I got up to like mid thigh where it was deeper, like where she couldn't touch. So then I was like trying to hold her so that she could like be lifted, but learn to swim, and she like freaked out. I have like scratches and a bruise on my leg.
Oh my God, you're gonna have to get her one of those things so you can teach her how to swim. You're like, yay, something else I can buy my dog.
On her back legs, like up here looking at me like, don't make me do it. And I was like, okay.
I did see a reel of somebody like, yeah, my dog doesn't swim and walks in the water, and it was like in a pool, and the dog did, like you just said, had her paws up and was just walking across the pool. Not swimming, walking. Oh, bless her little heart.
Yeah. So now I got to teach her to swim.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Well, you know, your dad likes to take Roxy out on the John boat in the waterway here, and she can swim. She prefers to just run around on the bank, but because I think I remember one of the first times he took her out on a boat, he pretty much taught her how to swim because she accidentally fell off the boat.
Yes.
It was shallow water. Don't panic, anyone. We love our dogs. But she
was fully submerged.
God bless her. Oh my God, that is a good story. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Now you have another project you can work on, going out and teach. But yeah, you've seen those harnesses that dogs have, like a little floating harness that's got a handle on it so you can teach her to swim.
She might need some assistance.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you for sharing. So we have a question to answer today. We got a little fan mail that we've told y'all that if you look at the top of the episode on your podcast player, there will be a thing where you can send us a fan mail and ask a question or whatever. And the only way to answer you is here in the podcast. It doesn't give me any information other than, here's the question. And so we did get a question that is a very good question, and probably I'll answer it briefly here so you know that I answered you, but also probably be an upcoming episode because it's a really good question to ask. So Haley, why don't you read the question?
Question says, hello, I'm still new to human design and I listen to your podcast regularly. I wanted to know if you had any advice on how to deal with overwhelm as I start to learn about and experiment with my human design.
Yes, and that is really, really common, isn't it?
Yes.
Usually the first reaction is total overwhelm.
Holy crap.
And there's a lot. And I would say that unless you're a line one, it's probably quite hard to deal with because, well, even as a line one, it was a lot for me to take in. Although I did try. I did try to understand it all in a day. Didn't work. But really, without knowing your type strategy authority specifically, the best piece of advice I always have is to know the basics like that of really what your type and strategy is.
Mhm.
And the overwhelm, I think, comes from feeling that you have to like figure it all out and know what everything means until you can like do it or be your design. But
Mhm.
you are already your design. It's been encoded in you from birth. So it's there, whether you are aware of it or not. The purpose is to not necessarily understand everything about it at once, is to maybe take one aspect of it and experiment with it, which I would say, first of all, would be your type, obviously, and strategy,
Mhm.
because that is the building blocks, the foundation, because it's also whether or not you have a defined sacral or not, how you respond to things, how you make decisions with your authority as well. Because once you start playing with that, or even just reflecting on it, say you're a generator and you're meant to respond, that's your strategy. Your main strategy is responding to life. For myself as a generator, hearing that, because there's lots of things you hear about generators that you might not uh, resonate with, or your
Mhm.
type as a projector or whatever, that you're like, ugh, I don't want to think about that. Let me find something else in my design that feels better.
Mhm.
But the purpose there of knowing that and knowing your strategy is because if you can just get your aura functioning or working with your aura the way it's designed to create less resistance, everything else in the design starts to kind of reveal itself to you. So if you are a generator and you're just learning this responding thing that you've meant to just like follow what your sacral response does, is yes or no, do I want to do this or not? Because remember, your strategy is there to make sure that your energy is being used in the best way. Because for a generator, that means you've got all this energy you can use. It's meant to build and do all this stuff, but it's protecting you in the sense or creating less resistance for you by directing where that energy should go. And that
Mhm.
changes a lot. Now, it's like for projector, or if you're a non sacral type, it would mean, especially for the projector, the invitations, all that stuff, the waiting for the invitations, the strategy. But that's a big overarching strategy type of
Mhm.
thing of knowing, again, where your energy is best going to be used because it needs to be recognized and to be recognized by the right people.
Mhm.
So, knowing your type and your strategy is, I think, the first way to help deal with overwhelm, because it just gives you one thing to focus on that can
Mhm.
have a really big impact at the very beginning, and
Right.
can help you kind of, as you reflect over your life, see how it played out without you realizing it. Does
Mhm.
that resonate with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think really focusing on those two things and just kind of just making notes of how things feel when you interact, through the month, like all of that, just kind of almost just observing things more, just kind of
Hmm.
taking notes and paying attention.
Yeah. Because I think what the mind wants to do is, once you kind of get a handle on that, or at least understand how it feels. And like I said, if you're a generator, it's going to be a little bit easier, I think, to start experimenting with that, and also to reflect on like what happened when you follow this. It might be a little bit harder for a projector because like those invitations are for bigger things, but
Mhm.
also you could just reflect on, when did I feel most recognized for the things I wanted to be recognized for? What
Mhm.
was I doing? Or when do I feel bitter? Because that's also the things to consider as the emotional themes there, which is also really helpful at the beginning
Mhm.
of recognizing. For a generator, what does it feel to be satisfied? For a projector, what does success mean for me? For a manifester, when do I feel most peaceful? For same for manifesting generator, those themes of peace and satisfaction.
Mhm.
And for a reflector, the surprise and delight. And
Oh.
likewise, when, when do I feel as a, in the not self for those types, as a generator, when do I feel frustrated, or recognizing frustration? Because I know that when I heard that that was the not self of a generator, I use that word all the time. I'm so frustrated and I can feel that frustration. Same for projectors. I've noticed when they hear bitterness, they're like, oh yeah. And I can see it in
Mhm.
projectors, like um what that plays out like, what that feels like, and you understand that feeling.
Mhm.
And so when you get those things in place and you start playing with those and understanding and really getting a handle on that, that's what it's there for. It's like training wheels for the
Mhm.
whole system to
Yeah.
kind of just get your legs underneath of you so that as you dig deeper into it and explore it further, it's there for you.
Yeah. Because I mean, those are the meat and potatoes of it, and
Mm-hmm.
then all the like gates and all of that is a little bit more of like the nuanced flavor to things.
Mm-hmm. And so I think this would be a really great future episode. We'll definitely
Hmm.
dig into that. And of course, being someone who loves human design and loves walking people through their design, I would also say if you want some help with overwhelm and you don't know what to do with it, you can always book a session with me and we can really kind of just get to what it is that at this point in your journey, what it is you want to focus on, what you need to
Hmm.
focus on, and what can help support you with that. So
Yeah.
there you go. I really appreciate you for asking that question
Yes. Thanks.
and
Hey.
appreciate you. All right. So, Haley,
Yes.
we're going to do something a little different today
Mhm.
at your request.
Yes.
So, Haley has been asking me for a while and I keep forgetting. And even when we were together last weekend, I forgot. She wanted
Okay.
to have some cards read for her, do some kind of reading for her. And of course, I agreed and took my cards and forgot to do it. We were kind of busy. You were busy. You were busy with wedding stuff the
It
whole time.
was
So
short weekend.
it was a very short weekend. So, anyways, really, I'll be honest. I was like, well, I almost feel like doing a card reading for you would be like doing a card reading for me because I feel like I know you so well and everything. But you have a specific thing that you're interested in
Mhm.
and want some clarity around. So why don't you, as a shuffle here and try not to make
Okay.
too much noise shuffling. Uh, so tell us a little bit about what you're interested in.
Okay. So I mean, since I planned my own wedding, which I really thoroughly enjoyed, and like honestly, I remember setting up the reception the day before more than most of the actual wedding. But it's kind of since
Yes.
then, yeah,
Yes.
kind of since then, I've kind of had this idea of kind of starting my own event planning, wedding planning kind of thing. And then kind of the further kickstart to that would be this past weekend when we went to Hunter and Lexi's wedding. Kind of the resort, or not the venue camp. I don't know how you would describe where they actually had it,
Well,
like the June
do
bug.
they,
I don't.
well, do they do other things? They do other events there, like reunions or stuff
Well,
like
I
that? Or is
wonder,
it just
or if
weddings?
it's more like a campsite, or if like they do wedding. Like I don't know exactly what the June bug was, but that kind of got me and Presley into this idea of doing something like that out here, having like some
Which explain
campsites.
what that was.
Yeah, so it was
Not to give
Junebug.
the whole idea away out there.
This place was called Junebug. I'll describe it. They had like a little wedding venue area, really cute, where you would have the ceremony, and then they had like a bunch of retro campers that were so cute, and it was just like that's where the wedding party stayed for the weekend. So it was like a very cool, fun little place.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've kind of thought about that out here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of
So overarching though, so in this, so we're gonna do a little like self-alignment
mhm.
type of business spread about you and starting a business or pursuing something like that. Really, what ultimately doesn't have to take the exact form, like say the exact type of venue, but what is it? Oh, hang on, I dropped two cards. That you want some clarity around or would like some guidance around when it comes to this? Like, what's getting in your way? Like, what do you want to know?
Well, I guess what I'd really like to know is if this is the right path.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like probably what has held me up on this since I've kind of had the thought initially is just leaving my current job
Shh,
because
don't say that. People listen.
it's my boss is cool, but that's part of why it's like hang up because I know what would happen to them
Mm-hmm.
because we're all very understaffed in my company.
Oh.
So I feel guilty even though I'm nowhere even close to leaving in that. I feel
Mm-hmm.
guilty about if I ever left it.
Well, girl, I can help
I
you with
know.
that one without reading cards.
I
And
know.
I don't want to, if it's something you really feel called to do, I
I know. I
don't
know.
want it to take 4 to 5 years like it took me to
I
leave a
know.
job.
I know.
But you know what? It's a real job. It's a source of your
Mhm.
income. You
It's
know, it's
stable
a
income
good
and
job. It's stable.
it would be
Yeah.
scary to leave that.
Which, you know, you might necessarily not have to right away.
Yeah.
People build side things, especially maybe something like that. So what interests you the most is the planning part, like the
Yes.
you really got a smile there. Wedding
I
planning
really
specifically or just event planning?
um well, I think either one really, but I mean, let's see. In general, I have the one wedding planning experience, but then like if I think back on other things like in college, I really enjoyed not that our friend group was really up for it all the time, but I liked to plan Christmas parties or we had a Friendsgiving one year and I
Hmm.
was the one driving it and planning it. And those were kind of
Hmm.
obviously more events. So I
So
think either
you
one
want
I
to
like.
plan, it sounds like events, experiences, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
let's look at that. Okay, so what I did with all these answers, and like as we know, I am new to
Hmm.
doing tarot. I've been working with people in their human design and using the cards to help answer like specific questions to get
Hmm.
my intuition kind of involved in doing all this stuff. But we thought we would play around with like a specific mapped out card spread. And
Hmm.
the one I am going to be doing, I will share, this is not my tarot spread. As I said, I am a newbie here. And by doing this, I want to help you, but I
Hmm.
also want to help develop my own intuition. And I also want to give others permission to play around with that, dig into your own intuition and see what comes up. So this card spread comes from, okay, I'm going to say this wrong, but I will link it in the show notes if you want to look at this website because they sell tarot decks and like design their own and they're beautiful and they have a lot of information on there about and they even have an app and it's
Oh.
called Labyrinthos, like a labyrinth
Hmm.
and
And
then
Othos.
OS on the end.
Oh, okay. Lab.
Labyrinthos. Oh my gosh. See, I said I was going to butcher it. I am
E.
so sorry. But they do have a fun little app that you can get like a daily card spread and also it can
Oh.
help you. It has all these different card decks on there and you can learn about the tarot and the different decks, what the suits mean because you know the tarot has the major arcana and the minor arcana to kind of uh, uh, help you create a conversation really I think with like your guides and with
Hmm.
spirit and so there is a lot of interpretation and just kind of playing with it and I'm a little nervous.
Hmm. I'm excited.
I know I'm nervous because when I do this generally, either for myself or for someone else, so I do email readings. It takes me a bit of time because I do kind of contemplate a lot and see what's happening. So this is kind of like doing this right here, face to face, and recording it. Well, I'll see how it goes.
It'll be good.
We will bravely step into new territory. All right, let me fix my microphone here, make sure I can
Yeah.
see the cards. I have very limited space here on my deck, and this is like an 8 card spread.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to lay all the cards down and then get them in their position, and then we're going to go through, flip them over and see what they say. Might have
Okay.
to edit for brevity, but okay, so the first card is going to be about your role and your purpose in
Okay.
this endeavor. that one there. And the next one, the next card is going to be why you want to start this business. We'll go into more detail on that. The next one is going to be what would you like it to become? All right, the next one. What can you offer to your customers? Which you kind of already know that, but this is like, we'll just see what happens there.
Mhm.
It's not like you're blindly, but this is for
No.
Haley. Spirit knows that.
Yeah.
The next one is about what makes what I offer special. And then we're going to have.
Didn't you just do that one? Didn't you just pull that one?
No, I said, what can I offer to customers? And then what do I offer that's special? Next one is your ideal customer. How can you serve them? What do you need to start? And are you prepared?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm recording. Turning all the cards over. This is going to be great for sound. Okay, well, my first impression is I should also say that the deck I'm using is the Fairy Tarot cards, which traditional tarot has the suits of wands and swords, cups, and pentacles. This one goes more with the elements of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, but they all do it does have the same layout, just has different numbers because it's more like elemental. And I just really love this deck because it usually has rather affirming messages to it, which I feel are helpful. I think it could also pinpoint where you might be getting hung up, but a lot of people, myself included, didn't always want to learn about tarot, know about tarot. It felt kind of, I just didn't understand it. And also a little worried that it's too complicated or complex, but really it's to open a conversation. All right.
Okay.
So like I do have to, I look at what I see and then, but the first thing I will say when I see is that there is a lot of cards. There's summer cards and winter cards. And to that, summer would be dealing more with your emotional self.
Okay.
And the winter cards are more so summer is that emotional water energy, which you are Pisces. So there's a lot of that in your design as well. But also the winter cards is like mental energy. It's air, right? So there's a lot of thinking involved. Interestingly enough, the two cards that are going to be dealing with where you need to start and are you ready, those are autumn cards, which are very material, earth based in this world kind of thing. So we'll see where that goes. But so the first card is the 10 of winter. And this is what it looks like here. There's a fairy there. And what I love about this card is you see she's coming out of winter, but you see the valley below her is sunny and it looks like it's changing seasons and moving into a new season. And as I said, this is also correlating to the 10 of swords and not a common deck, but a regular deck. And so a lot of what I see, and I have my own notes on some of these things, is about kind of letting go in a way. That it's a time. Oh, it's interesting. So this is okay. So ultimate role. Why do I feel like I exist in this world? What is my true calling? And the first card that you get, what this is supposed to represent, is about letting go and walking away. The situation is surging. So what's also interesting about tarot is that, like human design and reading your body graph, they tell a story together. And so even though these positions and these cards may be pulled for a certain purpose, as I walk through it is usually when the story starts to come together. Because taken out of context is like, oh, well, my role and purpose is to walk away. It's like, well, no. But so that's, hold on. I also have everything in front of me. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I am going around. I just want to make sure. But let's see. Okay, so some of the things it says, change can be stressful and intimidating, but trust that this is healthy and necessary. Drawing this card means that you've probably known for some time that you need to move on, but you've been unable or unwilling to cut ties, let go, set off on a new journey towards a happier tomorrow, set new goals for yourself, fresh beginning, focus on the future, not on the past. Like we said, she is leaving the challenges of winter for a warmer destination, which is a good sign. Now, does it really help you see what your role is? Maybe not yet, other than that's where it wants to start. So, moving on to the next card is the Sun. This is the one that's supposed to be about why do you want to start this business, motivation, starting, what are you looking for? And this is the Sun card, which is a really nice card to get because this usually represents fortune, abundance, that kind of thing. Amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations, gratitude, blessings in life. And let's see what the so he is riding on a horse. He's got a trumpet. There's sunflowers all around. Feels like a pretty good thing coming. And usually the sun card is also, you might see like a baby or the sun, which is the giver of all of our life here on earth. And it comes like, this is what they call a major arcana card, meaning it's not in a suit and it's not a number like the Ten of Winter or whatever. And so that's usually like bigger overarching life themes kind of things, archetypes. And there's 22. Yes, I think 22 cards. And this one comes 19th. So in the whole journey, it means like you've been through things and now like there is a new beginning and there is potential for you for success. Hang on. Yes, great success has been yours with more to come. Turn your face to the sun, open your arms, embrace the blessings that now flow directly to you from heaven. You can expect the dawning of brilliant new ideas that will lead you to wonderful opportunities. The world needs you to be who you are. Success, fulfillment, public recognition. That's interesting. Recognition. Enlightenment, joyful celebration, return to health. So that is interesting that this spread, this position, potentially it was about why you want to start this business, why you're looking to go in a new direction. The motivation behind it feels more fulfilling, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Could be more fulfilling. Like you said, you've tapped into that past fulfillment of recognizing a moment where you felt you were using your best potential. Correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Feels more like it. Okay. What would you like it to become?
Oh, okay.
This is the 8 of summer. This is that emotional energy I was talking about.
What is
Good thing I
that?
got a new camera. So she's like a fairy and she's got different
Oh, I
wings. So
see.
she's got,
It's a basket.
yeah. So it's like, she's, as you notice, I love the light in this one coming through the trees.
It is very warm looking.
Yeah. Moving towards a more, or not more, but towards a bright future, I would say. It's emotional energy. It's the 8 of summer.
What was the placement of this one? What was the question?
What would I like it to become? An ideal world. How would your business develop and grow?
Okay.
And in this particular deck, Siri's trying to answer that question on my phone or on my watch. Is this card represents decision to leave a situation that's no longer to your highest good. You've made this choice on your own. It hasn't been pushed upon you. It may seem challenging, or it may seem like a wonderful relief. You can take small daily steps until the changes you desire are in place, or you can move quickly. Evaluate your situation honestly and openly, more towards happiness. Don't worry, you're ready. So she's packed up her belongings and has chosen a new path for herself. A beautiful dawn awaits her. Additional meanings of this card. A relocation or job change. A turning point. Leaving home. Searching for deeper truth, spiritual growth, realizing there's more to life than meets the eye. That is interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if if guides or spirits following this format, but you are getting a pretty clear message so far.
I think so.
Okay, the next card we have is the Prince of Summer. Um, this is great. This is a great one. Now, Prince,
Oh.
these are what they call court cards, which usually represent or can represent. So these, the minor arcana cards, which we just did, like the Eight of Summer, and these court cards. So if you think
Mm,
about a deck of cards, goes from ace to king,
mm-hmm.
right? The Prince then would kind of correspond with the Jack. But usually, what it represents is a person like a contemporary. It can be a person in your life that is coming in. The minor arcana cards deal with kind of like day to day stuff, and then the
Okay.
majors like the more big life things, themes, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But these are kind of supporting the others. The Prince of Summer here, yeah, he's like on this one, he's riding a. Is he? No, I thought he no, he's on a what are those called? Those little flowers.
Dandelion? I don't know.
Dandelions. Yeah, when they're like fluffy. A lot of energy. So summer, emotional, but some of the keywords here, which I think is interesting, so we were talking about what you can offer, what value you give, what your business can offer. Some of the keywords here were romantic, dramatic, captivating,
Mm-hmm.
flirtatious. Of course, that's all things that.
What's funny about the imagery on that card
Mm-hmm.
is our save the date for our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I was blowing a dandelion.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. There you go. There's a message there for you. And there is a lot of energy of that as a archetype. This is a very romantic, if it were a male figure, sweep you off your feet, suddenly falling in love, a very romantic, emotional kind of feeling there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's dig into this one a little bit. And um, utterly in love with love. Some other ones, a love of art and beauty, staying grounded
Mm.
during an emotional experience. Let's see. The dandelion indicates he can make his wishes come true. However, the heart in his hand is made of glass, so handle with care.
Ooh.
So I do think it's interesting that if you were looking at this spread, what can you or what can you offer to customers is that very romantic, dramatic, captivating, sweep you off your feet kind of experience, whether it's in
Mhm.
wedding planning or in other planning. Because a lot of times, even though the court cards, a lot of people will read them as just other people in your life. I also like to read them as aspects of yourself
Mhm.
and things that can help support you. It can be other people as well. But yeah, so that's that one.
Mm.
What makes what I offer special? Why do others appreciate my work above all others? What am I talented in? And this one is the Ace of Winter. So this is another
Ooh,
mental
it's
energy,
pretty.
which is really great when it's asking like, what can you offer? Because I think we've established on here that a lot of your design and your energy is really attributed to your mental processes and your organization skills and what you bring to the table. These cards, the winter cards, they correspond, like I said, with the swords cards, which is a lot of mental energy thinking. It's very logical and somewhat it's fast, it's kind of fast energy because it is air energy, it's mental
Mhm.
energy. And the ace would be the first card, so it usually indicates beginnings of things. um
Okay.
so trust that the new ideas you have at this time are inspired and worthy of your time and energy, crystal clear on what to do even if you're doubting yourself.
Mm.
Interesting choice of words, doubt.
Uh-huh.
Have confidence in your own insights.
Mm.
Hmm. Communicate in a clear and concise fashion in order to avoid confusion, but be careful not to seem cold in the way you speak. This young fairy has great magic in her hands, but also the power of pure crystalline thought floating above her head. Oh, that's nice. Her companion represents the potential strength and courage she will grow into, which is that
She has a companion?
tiger.
Oh, I didn't
It's a
even see
tiger,
it.
Haley. It's not a dragon. Sorry, that was the inside joke from last week. Everybody in the car nearly came to blows discussing what was on Ian's shirt, if it was a tiger or a dragon. It was
Ugh.
both.
Yes. All parties were correct.
And what makes what I offer, or what makes what I offer special? Why do others appreciate my work above all others? What am I talented in? That's what this card
Mm-hmm.
represents. I mean, we talk about this all the time. It's your way of seeing things, it's your ideas. You are a conduit of ideas. You've got that ultra defined head there, all gates activated, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And so this also represents like brilliant ideas, new ideas, things coming through, which, we even talked about. You said you did your wedding a little bit differently, the flow of it,
Mm-hmm.
because I had also said during the wedding, like, what there has become such a rote way of doing a wedding
Mm-hmm.
celebration that it's like everybody knows what to expect and everything. So if you have any
Yeah.
new ideas there, you could certainly explore them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how you feeling so far?
Good.
Okay, so this is so funny. Oh my God. Okay, so oh my gosh, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So the next card asks, "Who's my ideal customer?
Uh-huh.
What people will best appreciate what I have to offer?" Three of Summer. This is a great card. This is always a celebration card. It
Oh,
is,
that looks
um,
fun.
oh, it's fun.
It's
They're
so
having fun.
colorful. Are
This
they
is
in
people
water?
having, they are in water. It's summer. Well, it's a emotional card. And specifically, what this card says: announcements such as weddings, graduations, and births, and friends you cherish. I mean, I don't even know if I have to look this up to be like, who's my customer? People who are celebrating events that want to get together. Remember when you said you just want to like create spaces where people can just, they're like minded, they want
Mm-hmm.
to have fun, they want to have a good time. Well, guess what? They're looking for you too.
I
That's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
I
Even
mean,
I
the
can read
card
that one.
literally calls out weddings and
Mm
celebrations.
hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah, becoming part of a close knit community or a chosen family. I just love some of the other things it says about the card. It's about celebration and embracing moments of blessing, spending time with family and friends. Yeah, that's always a celebration card. And
I
it's one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Three of Cups also is what it would correspond to. Go ahead.
it's I even had the thought last night as I was kind of ruminating on this. I was like, if we had if me and Presley had a space like that out here or whatever, I was like, we could have a week where we block off and all of our family comes out and it's literally just our
Mm,
family getting to spend time together. Like my side, his side, just
mm-hmm.
everyone getting to spend time together and be together.
There
So,
you go. There's some motivation there for you as well.
mhm,
That's great. So this card in another deck that I have is my favorite illustrated card in this deck.
mhm.
This one is called the Clarity Tarot. The Three of Cups profits through group efforts, but it is about being together. Look at that card.
Oh,
I love that
that's
card.
fun too.
I love all the gold and the colors and yeah, all the different people
That's
represented
fun.
there. That's a beautiful card. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. So, okay, so keep moving on. 7. How can I serve them? What can I do to best make them happy? How do I reach them? So, this card is interesting. It's the 5 of Winter. So,
Oh,
he's kind of, it's not focusing in on it really well, but,
yeah.
and it's backwards. So he's walking away. I love this card, but look at all the mental energy around. I mean,
Yeah, his
I
head
think
is shining.
all the energy around his head. And for a fairy, it's really, this to me looks like a stack of like cannonballs,
Oh
and
yeah.
like the wings, his wings are down, they're not
Yeah.
up. There is people walking away, and I think this card in this deck, it says things don't always go the way you expect them to. If your plans don't work out, ask God. If you had a challenging journey, associate with other people who have high morals. Okay, I'm getting a thought of
Mhm.
what this could be about. It says the fairy on the card has clearly been successful in accumulating all the snowballs. They're snowballs, not
Oh,
cannonballs.
hey, it's close.
But its victory is a lonely one. How satisfying can it be? So it says additional meaning, something that's not worth the effort. So in this position and the question you're asking, and this is where this takes some kind of what I was hearing and takes some it all into consideration kind of thing of all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. And if we're looking, how can I serve them? I would say that this card represents that the people that you're working with or will work with, how you can serve them is they want to bring something together. They want to bring people together. They want to have something, but it's like they can't do it. It's like they have maybe tried to organize on their own or maybe even working with someone else. Doesn't have to be just weddings, but maybe their expectations have not been met. And where you come in is you're able to be that person who can help carry it over the finish line for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I'm hearing. That's how you offer is that what their expectations or what they've experienced in the past, either through their own efforts or for others, has been like a disaster or just not worth the effort in the sense that, do I really want to take this on? Which is, a good position to be in as someone with
Mm-hmm.
planning, it's like, that's how you're going to serve them is to help. You're someone who can be trusted. You can assuage their fears. You can put the things into place that they are needing help with.
Mm-hmm. That when you said assuage their fears, don't I
Mhm.
have the gate that is like the rose-colored glasses? It's part of the sales channel. I'm thinking
Oh, the 26.
26. Is
Mm-hmm.
that, am I getting the right gate there?
Yes, it is part of the sales. It is the 26 is integrity, but it's also in 26, the game player, 44, because it connects to 44. I have 44, you have 26.
Mm.
So match made in heaven. And yes, it's in the will center and it is reaching towards the 44. And so it is very persuasive. That's the one we talked about that has that um it because the 44 can help set the stage and make them feel comfortable. This 26 kind of helps seal the deal. Knows
Mm-hmm.
how to it can be, that's the one why it's called integrity, because it has the ability to get things into action because it is in that will center. It's connected to that motor and this material resources, this world. And so, yes, it has to come from a good place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really great that you made that connection, that that's what that meant to you, because that's ultimately, I can tell you all this stuff, but it has to what's coming up for you as you hear that. And
Uh-huh.
so,
And
you know,
that's my unconscious son.
unconscious earth. And no, it's the sun.
It's a son.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the
45 for
red.
earth.
26 is the red unconscious son.
Oh, that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So last two cards here. So the last one. So this one, what do I need to start? What must I do? What do I need? And it's so funny. Another one is funny. So it's the 10 of autumn. Like I told you, the autumn cards are
happening on there.
there's a lot happening there.
Okay.
It corresponds to pentacles, or they call it coins as well. It is all about the material world,
Okay.
resources, that kind of thing. I know it's hard to, maybe you can see it a little bit better there, maybe not.
Just like
But
4 fairies that I see.
yeah, seems to be a child fairy hovering over. I do like these cards. It is sometimes, I thought when I got new glasses, I'd be able to see a little bit better. But it is interesting that there's this lovely young couple right
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah.
Just on the surface of the card, it says take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, make wise investments, or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions.
Mm.
So let's go to autumn here. It says, what do I need to start? What must I do? What do I need? Family connections are extremely important. Honor your heritage and be proud of who you are. Share your history with other family members. Embrace the positive. Release past events. Begin investing in your future. Make plans that include caring for your family financially in terms of education, health, retirement. Prepare now so you can be free of financial worry later. Even if you're young, can only spare a little sum. Well, I think you guys probably already do that.
Mhm.
If I know your husband, you've got money that's going into retirement.
Yes.
It says the card here, the picture, what it represents of happy family spends time together underneath a harvest of golden pears. And the pears are a symbol of prosperity that provide for their needs for years to come. Additional meanings, family trees, honoring family traditions, financial security, and inheritance or major business investments.
We were
What
talking
does that speak
yesterday.
to you?
Me and Presley were talking about it yesterday. We're like, we can do this and we can bring daddy out here and he can help us build it and like we can make it a whole, in my mind, family thing.
Well, how many times have I said it's always been my feeling that our family will be linked always.
Yes.
But I mean, I always had a goal of like us all doing something together because I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like we tick all the boxes. And
Yeah. And we've
I mean,
kind of already
Sarah's,
dabbled in that.
I mean, when I think about your brother and yours, like technical skill and eye for detail and all this stuff, and your dad's just like go, go, go energy. And he's a jack of all trades, can build
Hmm.
and do anything. Presley's the money man. You're the details with the guide. And then
Hey, we create that sales
I
channel
have
so
my own
we can
I
work
have
on
my
that.
own. Well, I have my own venture too. I mean, because
Yeah.
I feel that I would also love, and we've talked about this, of course, and we've dabbled a little bit on the podcast, but we talk about it a lot in person about running retreats
Hmm.
as like not as more like fun trips, girl trips, like
Yeah.
experience trips where it's about human design. You get to experience and learn about it and do
Hmm.
things like this, like get, human design readings, tarot readings, maybe even some other body treatments, that kind of thing,
Hmm.
where it's like a retreat in the sense that you don't have to go learn anything. You just like
Yeah.
get to
It's like
go
a
and
fun girls trip, basically, is how we've kind of
mhm,
ruminated it.
yeah. And so that's interesting as well, bringing the family in.
Hmm.
Interesting that you're having those conversations.
Yeah.
And so the last card, do you have anything else you want to say about that?
Well, just also how it talks about family traditions, thinking about how that ties into who my clients would be honoring their family traditions with these
Yes.
celebrations and stuff.
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well, is that this is very much, which you have always been the one in the family that is the carrier of the traditions in the family.
Christmas.
Yes.
We have our traditions.
But you are the one that always like, yeah, I love all those things. I love it for the gathering and whatnot. But you are the one that I'm just thinking about birthdays, even occasions, that you are the one that is like, no, we have to do something special in the sense
Hmm.
that if it's like, I mean, since you've been gone, the way we celebrate birthdays is like, hey, it's your birthday. Yay, you, where you want to go,
Yeah.
But I just think back to like Lakeland's 18th birthday, that, and the same day she had the absolute worst day. But then when she came home to the way you had decorated the house, which was just
So many balloons.
streamers and balloons, like you changed that girl's whole life that day. Like she just like, I mean, you really helped her get through a really hard day and really helped her feel a part of this family by how much you
Oh.
like effort you put into that. And then we left those streamers over the window for like 6 months.
And then she hung the streamers over her door for a while.
And then they think next birthday's like, nope, nobody gets anything because I don't have that. I don't have that gene of like, I want things to be nice and I want people to feel special, but you really know how to do it through like making things look great and whatnot. So let's see. Let's see. So the last card here, Nine of Autumn. Am I prepared? How ready do I feel? And so this is another autumn card, the Nine of Autumn. A lot of
Ooh,
color there. She's
yeah.
playing a harp of some sort.
Okay.
She's just kind of hanging out by herself. There's a lot of color here. And I know that you think
Hmm.
like there's a pumpkin over
Oh
here,
yeah.
which is kind of a
What is the
harvest.
light thing by your knees?
That's a good question. I'll be honest with you. Some of these I cannot see. I wish the artwork was a little clearer, but this is totally a reference for you and me. It looks like a horseshoe crab to me, but it's not.
No, it's kind of.
It is not a horseshoe crab. What does it tell me? It just says fruits of her labor. What else could that? Maybe it's
It's like maybe some kind of flower or something.
well,
Like gourd.
there's I think it's some kind of root vegetable of some sort because there's the pumpkins, there's like lots of grapes and other things. There's definitely a harvest there. And this type of card, this where this the being at a nine, it is kind of like coming to the end of a cycle in the sense of not a cycle, but the suit of autumn. So it's like you've been through the thing, and a lot of times as you get to the like the eight, the nine, the 10, it is about kind of reaping rewards and benefits and stuff like that. And so
I think
what's
9 may be
interesting,
my lucky number.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is that, she is by herself, but she's
Mhm.
doing something that she wants. She's surrounded
Her
by
wings are so pretty.
beauty, yeah, beauty and fruitfulness, and she's kind of enjoying the harvest there, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So some of the meanings here is doing something that feels truly luxurious and self-loving, that you have like it is like a reward card. It is that reaping the harvest kind of thing. And she is it says a very successful, interesting, successful word, successful for a projector, enjoys the beautiful music from her harp while the fruits of her labor ripen around her. And so I do love this deck because it gives you great little things to
Mhm.
go on, which, like I said, in human design and tarot and everything else, I've gotten more comfortable with realizing you cannot know everything. You do, especially as you're starting out, use these things to help guide you, and then you can kind of go from there. But some of the additional meanings of this card are being happily self employed, creating a beautiful environment, enjoying the finer things in life, and cherishing your time alone.
I mean, yes to
This is
all
your
of them.
card.
I think so.
Are you ready? How do you feel? How ready do you
This is the
feel?
card for am I ready? And it's like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, really. So, yeah, overall, looking at a lot of what we gained here, definitely like coming through to something new. And you are a line six. You are
Mhm.
27 years old. You're
Mhm.
still, experimenting, trying things out. As you move on to the roof, you can, you'll be a little bit more relaxed and not feel so much pressure. I know there's a lot of pressure right now. So even if this doesn't happen tomorrow, there is definitely an indication here that what which is the same words I used on myself when I did a little reading for myself earlier around this,
Mhm.
testing it out. What keeps coming through is what you seek is seeking you. It's like, I mean, it's what we should all believe about ourselves, truly. But I think in this instance, like I said, it was interesting to do a reading for you because I do readings for myself a lot, and you
Mhm.
begin to wonder if the cards you get, does everybody get these cards? I don't ever get any of these cards. I don't think I've ever. I think I had the Prince of Summer earlier, so that was interesting. But yeah, so this is very much, and because there are so many like court card or not court card, minor arcana cards, this really is kind of like where you are now, what can help you now, kind of giving you that guidance, that push, that direction that is really all supporting this sun card of great potential and what it is you want to fulfill. Like it's things have been good, but they can be even better.
Mhm.
Because yeah,
Yeah.
things have been good. Things are
Mhm.
good. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got a good life.
Yeah.
I mean, you just would like to find more fulfilling work
Mhm.
for sure. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so did I already ask you overall? Was there anything you had questions about there, or is there anything else you wanted to talk about that you wanted a little more clarity around, or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it was pretty clear. It was a lot of reassurance, I think. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it definitely feels like this is right.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and just pay attention as you or you probably won't even have to pay attention, and things will probably just start showing up for you. Where if this is really the direction you're wanting to go in, notice as a projector things that either people like don't just brush off little comments you might hear here and there to get that further understanding as a line two and a projector of like what it is you're good at, what you
Mm-hmm.
enjoy. And great job on that flower arrangement the other day. You sent me a
Oh,
picture
thank
of that was
you.
really pretty. Which I did show to Lori, my old boss, and of course I knew exactly what she was going to say. And the first thing she said, "It's a little boho," and I was like, "Well, I know you don't like boho. She does not, because she's like 69 years old. She's an old lady. She don't. I don't mean to.
I would never
I'm not saying
once thought that
69
was
is old.
boho.
It is for her because she's very
What does that
traditional
even mean?
florist. For her, it means like there's a lot of stuff going on
Hmm?
and it's very natural. Like, but I thought it was beautiful and very colorful. It gave me boho being like more natural looking, which it did because it had kind of a wildflower look to it, but it
Yeah.
also had a lot of the structural things. I thought you did a great job of blending them all together. And you picked flowers that are going to last a long time too, but she did say it was very pretty. And I said, well, she picked the flowers, I'm pretty sure, based on what she knew about the flowers and that she learned what the flowers are from Lori.
And after, well, I kind of had just more of an idea. I wanted like, because I saw first the purple stalk, and I was
Love
like,
stock.
that
Smells so good.
it was like the color was so rich to it. And I was like, I want to work with that. Like, I want to go with like purples. And then I saw like I was gonna go just white hydrangeas, and then I
Mm-hmm.
went over to the hydrangeas and I saw the blue too, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick both now. And then saw the eucalyptus and I was like, love that. And
Mm-hmm.
the Veronica, that was
Oh,
fun.
Veronica's pretty.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot the name of that, but I did right. I was like, yeah, everything in there. I definitely have worked with before. And I
Yeah.
thought, did you buy that vase or did you have that vase?
I had that vase.
Yeah, because that's a vase we would use too in at the florist.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I don't know, Haley. Looks like you got some groundwork to do. You got some potential. Now, I will say to you and to everybody, or not to everybody, but to a lot of people, when you get these validations and everything, they are important. But don't quit your day job before you start a new one. Because you're not miserable in your job, that
I'm
it's a,
just
it's a good
not
job.
fulfilled.
Yeah,
It's
which is
a job.
common. Well, and that's common for most people these days. I mean, I think I said the other day how I've never had a plan and I've never uh a life plan or anything. I've just kind of bounced around, but that was my path, I guess, where I was supposed to go. But also because that definitely, I think, had an effect on you, good and bad, to be like, I know we always wanted you guys to go to college, and now it's like college is a good thing, but more and more I'm like, oh my gosh,
A scam.
yeah, what are people getting out of it? Now, you did
Yeah.
get an applicable education by
Yes.
being in accounting and stuff, so that was helpful. But I'm sure your experience, I don't know how much you actually experienced it through us of the financial insecurity we often had, our feast and famine we often had. We tried not to make it too big of a issue in our family,
I
but
mean, I never really saw it per se.
that's
Like,
good.
I mean, we all had to work hard in the summer, and like that
Mm-hmm.
was the time. But like, even in the winter, it never felt like you never
Mm.
let us feel like we were struggling.
Well, that's good. Well, we tried.
Yeah.
It was definitely feast or famine, as I said, a lot of financial insecurity. But, like I said, we had a good little family unit. So, but at least it's been a real relief off of our minds as parents, knowing that both you and your brother now, as you start off in life, you do have something underneath you. But, so proud of you. And I think anything you set your mind to, you can definitely achieve. So if your mind and your heart and your spirit's involved in it, I think you can be very successful in whatever you do.
Mhm.
I'll take a picture of this card spread so you can see it if you want to refer to it that
Yeah.
isn't on the computer screen.
Yes, please.
And since this is a different format, I just realized as we got to the end, I don't have an incarnation cross the week prepared.
I think that's okay. It's a little different.
So we won't have one today.
That's okay.
but no less important. It's just, it feels right to just kind of leave it with a tarot reading.
Yeah.
And that's that. So,
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share, Haley?
I got to teach my dog to swim.
Yes, especially if there's water on this new property.
Yes.
Oh my God, you can have events where people could bring their animals. That'd be great. Maybe not a wedding. Maybe not. All right. Well, we'll just leave it there. And just again, a reminder, if you guys do have any questions or comments that you'd like us to discuss on the podcast, you can always do that on the episode listing. You'll see it says send fan mail. We'd love to see it, read it. And also, if you didn't already know, if you're not watching this in video, if you just listen to it, you can go on my website, humandesignhive.com, has all the archives of all the episodes. And I've done my best to put most of the most recent ones, have the videos on there as well. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know that's where it is. But so if you like watching us instead of just listening to us and all our ridiculous facial expressions, then we invite you to do so. Okay, so let's leave it there, Haley. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Lots of things to think about and dream about and plan about. And so we'll leave you to it. So bye for now.
Bye.
You made it all the way to the end of today's episode, so you must have liked what you heard. If you did, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and perhaps leave us a good review. And if you know someone who wants to dig into all things human design with us, make sure you share the Human Design Hive podcast with them. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.